Salutations from Wizard Studios. I am the Wizard. We have another fight card to discuss today. Alistair Overeem takes on Walt Harris, and it is a doozy. Let's get right into it. Alright, so first up we have Alistair Overeem taking on Walt Harris. Man, Alistair Overeem, comes in tonight, 30 years old, steps out of the octagon, 40. The guy's been doing it forever, since 1999, I believe. And, seems like he's getting better with age. There was a while where we questioned his chin. There was a while where, it seemed like air would knock him out. But now he takes a huge shot from Walt Harris, gets put down, looks like the fight is over, somehow manages to grab an ankle and survive. And then he gets up and, finishes the round on top, beating on Walt Harris, and, starts off round two. And it seems like Walt Harris is out of gas. The guy's gone through a lot with his daughter and everything, and now the guy's, gasping for air. It's understandable. Emotions will take the air out of you faster than anything else. Emotions will get you beat quicker than any person will. And so it seems that is the case for Walt Harris here tonight, but you cannot, take any credit away from Alistair Overeem. He's hitting them with leg kicks, gets Walt Harris thinking about the legs, and then lands a beautiful head kick, lands a beautiful right hand, sits Walt Harris down, and then finishes the fight, man. It's hard to see Walt Harris lose this fight, but Alistair Overeem looked good, had to fight through adversity. You love to see these type of things. Guys, battling through adversity. Of course, we wanted Walt Harris to get this win tonight, but Alistair Overeem coming through adversity to get the victory, doing it at 40 years old. I'm happy to see Alistair Overeem get this victory. As much as I wanted Walt Harris to get the win, I am happy to see Alistair Overeem, after losing to Jairzinho Rozenstruik the way he did, to come back and get this victory. Hats off to him. Good job from the ring. Alright, next up we have Claudia Gadelha versus Angela Hill, and this is where the judging starts getting dicey. Okay, Claudia Gadelha comes out, and she's landed some good shots. Angela Hill is right away the quicker fighter, and right away you see that she is the more polished striker. Claudia has a little bit more power, but Angela is just a lot, quicker, more fluid, and the more clean striker, if you will. And so Claudia gets the takedown towards the end of the round, lands some good ground and pound. Angela finds her way back to her feet, but Claudia is still all over her at the end of the round. Okay, so we end round one. Claudia takes round one. Okay, we go into round two, and right away, Angela's all over her like a bat out of hell. Okay, Claudia is desperately, trying to hang with Angela on the feet. Angela lands a powerful hook, sits Claudia down, and we see right there that Angela Hill has the power at strawweight to sit down a number 6 Claudia Gadelha, okay? Angela Hill, who for the longest time trading wins and losses, I was so impressed with that. I was so impressed with Angela Hill to be able to sit down Claudia like that, okay? I picked Angela Hill to win. But, that right there was just beautiful. She turned her all the way around and face planted her. It was just beautiful to see. Alright, so Angela Hill, Claudia came back at the end of the round and landed some strong strikes. But Angela Hill took that round. It was just Angela Hill's round to win. So we go into round 3. Round 3 is a little closer, but Angela Hill is landing more strikes. Angela Hill is just all over Claudia. Claudia has a little more power than Angela, but Angela's strikes are strong. Angela did sit down Claudia in round 2, so we know they're strong. Angela Hill is just the better striker. I mean, it's just obvious. We see it in this fight. We see that Angela Hill is a top 10 strawweight. We see that Angela Hill won this fight, but the judges give it to Claudia Gadelha by split decision, and I do not agree with that. I thought that Angela Hill won this fight. It was a close fight, but I thought that Angela Hill won this fight. I do not agree with the decision. It is not because I picked Angela Hill. I just thought that she won the fight. I really did. And it was sad to see the judges go with Claudia Gadelha because I really thought that Angela Hill outworked her, and I thought that she landed more damage. When you walk out of that octagon, I feel like you want to feel like you won the fight. I feel like you want to feel like you did more damage to your opponent than they did to you. And I feel like Angela Hill did more damage to Claudia Gadelha than she did to her. That's how I feel. Next up, we have Dan Ige versus Edson Barboza. And here again, I do not agree with the judges. And I picked, Dan Ige, but Edson Barboza coming down to featherweight and immediately letting you know that he is a top featherweight, okay? Coming down, dropping Dan Ige in the first round, landing hard ground and pound, and then we go into the second round, landing a brutal body shot, landing hard ground and pound again. He is just all over Dan Ige, and it's not to say that Dan Ige wasn't all over Edson Barboza too. He was crowding Edson Barboza, landing, hard punches of his own, but Edson Barboza did more damage, and damage has to account for something in combat sports. And, we go into the third round, and Edson, I believe, does lose the third round, maybe by the slightest of margins. But like I said, Edson Barboza does more damage in this fight. He wins the first 2 rounds. Edson Barboza should have won this fight. I do not agree with the judge's decision, but Dan Ige, gets the nod. Good win for Dan Ige over a very, very tough Edson Barboza. Next up, we have Eric Anders versus Christoph Yakko. And Eric Anders, man, fought this fight really weird. Really, really weird. I thought that he would try to knock out Yakko, but instead, looking for the takedown the whole time, and he couldn't get it, wearing himself out. Yakko circling around, outstriking Anders throughout all 3 rounds, and I do not know where Anders goes from here. Of course, he won his last 2 fights before this one, but still, if you can't beat Yakko, I do not know, and it's not a take away from Yakko because he's a great opponent. But I figured that Anders would be the more powerful guy. I figured that he would be able to knock him out. I figured that if he would, string together his combos instead of just throwing a 1-2, he may have been able to do that. Instead of throwing a 1-2 and then just going for a takedown time and time again. But that's what he did, and it did not work against a seasoned guy like Christoph Yakko. And if that's his game plan, and he didn't adjust over the course of 3 rounds, I just don't know where he goes from there. That's what I'm saying. I was expecting him to make adjustments, get past this guy, and go to the next level. And that's not what happened in this fight. Considering he's a great athlete, considering his background and all that. So, we'll see what happens. We'll see if he can make adjustments in his next fight. But I don't see that happening now. Alright, Marlon Vera versus Song Yadong. Now, this fight, everybody is talking about the decision in this fight, and I could see why people are mad. I could see Marlon Vera winning this fight. But I also see Song Yadong winning this fight. This was one of those coin flip fights, and I picked Chito. I thought he would win. I thought that he had the craftier style. But the judges picked Song, and I can see that. I mean, it's about damage. I've always said damage is all. And I just thought that Song did a little more damage. Damage is the key to me. And I really felt like his punches mattered more, if you will. I mean, they were powerful, man. His punches were powerful. That guy is so powerful. I mean, if he gets a little bit better with his timing, I think that he will get a lot more knockouts. I really do. His boxing is so good. It's so good. I think he has some of the best boxing in that division. I really want to see a fight. I'd love to see him get a top 10 opponent next. I think he deserves that. I think he's good enough to... that dude's going to be a dark horse. Him and Chito both. I think they're both the dark horses of that division. I mean, I could have seen it go either way, but I felt like Song's punches were so much stronger, man. And I love Chito to death. I mean, that dude's just he's just a dog, man. He goes in there to win and for nothing else. He goes in there for glory, and I love to see that. I think that is awesome to watch, and it's great to see. I mean, he's a fighter's fighter, and so that's why I love Chito Vera. But Song just seemed to have a little bit more on his punches. So, I mean. But it was a great fight. It was a great fight. Loved to see it. Loved the whole thing. I did not turn my head away from the TV once. Great fight. Great fight. Big Ben Rothwell goes to Twitter to call MMA judging disgusting after his split decision win over OSP. Says that Angela Hill is a warrior. Now, guys, what does this mean? I think that Big Ben is over-exaggerating here. I mean, judging, there's been a problem in combat sports judging for years. I have, been fed up with it for a long time. So, I mean, it's going to take a while for it to get fixed. I think that, we're just going to have to live with it. I mean, he won his fight, He won his fight. So that's why I think he's over-exaggerating a little bit. But, I think that for him to call Angela Hill a warrior was really cool of him, and I bet she appreciates that. But I don't know what it's going to take for this judging criteria to be, rectified. But definitely a lot of decisions on this card that I do not agree with. So the UFC is planning to go to Arizona if it can't get into Las Vegas for the May 30th card. Per Dana White. Now, he said this after the Alistair Overeem Walt Harris fight night. So if it cannot get into Las Vegas on May 30th, the UFC will be taking place in Arizona. This is 100% going to happen. Dana White said, that is what his words were, 100% going to happen in Arizona. So we can look forward to the May 30th card, 100% going to happen no matter what. If it cannot go on in Las Vegas, it will happen in Arizona, guys, no matter what. So lately, John Jones and Francis Ngannou have been going back and forth on Twitter, and it looks like they have verbally agreed to fight. Now, what does this mean? Is Jon Jones going to go up to heavyweight and take on the scariest dude on the planet since Mike Tyson? Is he really going to do something like this? Is Jon Jones crazy enough to go up there? I mean, we know that he can take a punch. We've seen him get hit by hammers, like from Thiago Santos, from Dominic Reyes. I mean, this guy can take a shot. But he's never been hit by someone like Francis Ngannou. So, can he take that type of power? Is he going to rely on his chin like that? I don't think the guy really plans on taking a shot from Francis like that. I think he's going to use his length. He's going to use, every tool at his disposal to win that fight if he gets in there. I mean, Jon Jones has one of the highest fight IQs that I've ever seen. I mean, he just knows how to win. He's a winner. I mean, he knows how to get out of that octagon, without taking a ton of damage. And he knows how to get his hand raised. I mean, he's always been able to do that. And so I think that, I really believe he can win that fight. I really do. I believe Francis can too. Don't get me wrong. But I believe Jon ultimately would get it done. So if people think that Jon Jones won't fight Francis Ngannou, you're crazy. That dude will fight him, and I think he can beat him. I think he beats him pretty easily. Just my opinion. Alright guys, that's everything. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked what you saw, make sure you give this video the thumbs up. Also, make sure you subscribe for more MMA content, and we will see you in the next video.